It's always a pleasure when master and disciple meet. It is always a celebration when people on the path meet together to share, to sing, to say poetry, to dance. You know, I apologize for last fortnight. You know what? The Samadhi fever was too deep. The silence was too strong. I tried my best to come to your level, but I couldn't. It was impossible, and this is becoming more serious day by day. But somehow I'm managing to do it. So, but I'm sure if you are receptive, you will get the blessing, you will get the vibe, you will feel the vibration, you will benefit from it. So without much ado, we are going to meditate little, okay? We are going to connect with the absolute. We are going to unite our vibrations in silence and love. Okay, good. Om. Yes. So how are you? Are you celebrating life despite COVID, war, and daily business? If you don't celebrate life, you miss life. If you don't dance, you miss life. If you don't love, you miss life. If you don't live in peace, you miss life. If you're not prayerful, you miss life more. As you grow in spirituality, as you grow in awareness, in silence and meditation, you're supposed to become more prayerful. I'm not saying reciting prayers from a book, from a Bible, from Gita or whatever. It is a spontaneous fragrance that emanates from your being, prayerfulness, gratefulness, gratitude, love. This is prayer. If you're meditating and you're not becoming prayerful, you're not appreciating life, then something, somewhere is wrong. You're perhaps trying to meditate, and this is not meditation. Meditation should be like a child's play. At most, worst to worst. It is a challenge because you have to master the monkey mind. The monkey mind. The mind which is never stable. The sick mind, unconscious mind. But if you have understood my teaching, then it becomes simply. That's why meditation should be, you should start meditation at an early age. If you start meditation early, then like Sai Baba or Shirdi, the old one, he said something beautiful. He said, start early, drive slowly, and reach safely. Now, this is very beautiful. When you start early, I will not say just drive safely. I will say do it playfully. Osho said something beautiful. He has a book. He said, Hasiba, Keliba, Kariba, Dhyanam. Hasiba means laughing. Keliba means playing. Kariba, Dhyanam. Do meditation. That people have missed this part. People think that religion should be something serious. You meditate, you pray, you go to church because you fear. If you don't do so, you will go to hell. You will pay karma. You will be punished. This is a great misconception. So that's why if you wake up early, you don't waste your time and energy in useless things like watching a lot of, spending hours in front of your TV, laptop, Facebook, and all these and social medias. Then you have time, you sleep early. In the morning, you're full with energy. And you have time to meditate. You meditate a few hours in the morning, 1 hour, 2 hours, more if you're free. Then you have time to do the essential things in life. But people waste time and energy in so many things. So many things. Well, that's the boon. I mean, that's a bane side of freedom. Hmm? I'm thinking to write a book, Freedom, a boon or a bane. No, understand this? Bane means like a curse. Boons means boons, blessing. No, so that's it. What is happening, Julia? What is happening to your president? He's destroying everything, destroying people, home, buildings. He's destroying this country. Now you see how people are mad and sick. The destructive force is inside, just waiting for an opportunity to explode. Do you see any sense in that? Killing innocent people, destroying building. They're finishing this country. But well, we are living in a mad world. So what can you expect more? And power in the hands of stupid and mad people. That could be the only result, you know. You have known the First World War, Second World War, and since the last 3,000 years or so, we have waged so many wars, hundreds of wars, even thousands of wars. And yet we say that we are a civilized society. We are educated. Where is education in all that? Where is civilization in all that? People say we are rational, we are logical, we are Cartesian. No. René Descartes, he was the father of logic, like Aristotle. So is there any logic in this war? Is there any logic in destroying people, destroying homes, and destroying building? And mind it, don't think only one president, one nation, one people is like that. The whole world is like that. They're just waiting for an opportunity. An opportunity present itself and they explode, they destroy everything. They're just waiting an opportunity. Don't think that these people don't want to wage war. Stupid. Well, if you have any question, any interesting question, any experiences that you went through, might have went through recently, any feeling, spiritual feeling, any prayer, please do share. If you don't have, of course, I will continue. We are going to continue the adventure with Gautam Buddha, the great and beautiful Gautam Buddha, the silent master. No, even he was doing everything, he was extremely silent and non-doing. He was a non-doer, like all masters, in fact. Yes, anything? One thing I would like to share with you, in fact, I would like to remind you about, is that I was thinking about this morning. Have you ever, I'm sure you have you ever had a look at a corpse? At a corpse, a person who is dead, who has died, just like a log of wood, like a piece of dry wood. I have many times observed, not only looked, observed. I have even touched. Once a friend, father, passed away. I shaved him. There was nobody to shave him, so they asked me. So I shaved that person. While shaving, his flesh was coming out very lightly. You know, just like if you don't take precaution while shaving, you can cut yourself. And the corpse was, of course, cold, like anything. So my point is that with death, you become like something, a piece of wood, a log of wood. What has happened your whole life, during your whole life, your energy has leaked away. You know, your energy has leaked away through your 10 senses. And when your energy is completely leaked out, is completely wasted, then death happens. Death happens to the physical body, but nothing happens to your mind. It remains the same old, sick, tricky, and barbarous mind, unconscious on top of that. So you see, this is what human life, this is the gist of ordinary people's life. But what happens to spiritual people, to people who are meditating, like you who are meditating, they use their energy. They don't waste they use their energy. They use their senses. They use their mind. They do not abuse. There's a great difference. When you abuse your mind, when you abuse your senses, then you destroy their sensitivity, their capacity to receive, their capacity to feel. When you think a lot, thinking is energy leaking out from a container. Just imagine any container which has hole in it, water is leaking out. This is what thinking. So you do two things. People think a lot, crazily, madly, even at night in the sleep they're thinking. Just imagine your nightmares and your dreams. And your sleep is not total. You don't have deep sleep. Most people do not have sushupti, what is called yoga nidra. Yoga nidra, in that state, your mind is like in yoga state. It is perfectly calm, like in a state of yoga, completely silent, but you're not conscious, of course. That's why we call it sleep nidra. In nidra means sleep, you're not conscious. But we call it yoga at the same time because it's completely calm. Few people know yoga nidra, the enlightened person, people who have reached deep meditation, people who are innocent, people who are authentic, people who are pure, people who have no hidden agenda. They have good sleep, they have sushupti, yoga nidra. So what happens, people's life is spent in sleeping, and in sleeping, nothing happens. If you sleep well, then you get energy to carry on the next day. But the next day you will do the same thing, wasted of energy. So the spiritual person uses his energy. He uses his senses, he uses his mind. He does not abuse. When you look around, people are abusing. The greatest part of energy, of your energy, is flowing out. More than 90% is flowing out. Only if you are meditating, if you are meditating for long hours, if your whole life is a meditation, if you follow the middle path, if you lead a balanced life, then you conserve energy. Then you conserve energy. You have to conserve energy. You have to save energy. Then only you can meditate. Then only you can break lives, incarnations of conditioning, of unconsciousness. So just become more aware, more meditative, more alert towards your outflow of energy. When energy outflows a lot, when energy goes out through your 10 senses a lot, then you become tired. And one day you become so tired that you can no longer continue. Then death ensures, death happens. So die before your physical body dies. Die, O Yogi, die. You remember? Die, O Yogi, die. Goraknath. If you die before your body dies, then you become hollow, like a bamboo, like Krishna's flute. and whole existence dances and sings for you. That's it. Well, hope you're doing good. You are celebrating. This is my teaching. Celebrate life, laugh, joke, smile, dance, live in harmony with the laws of nature. Don't worry about the world. Don't worry about the Third World War. If it is going to happen, it is going to happen. Nobody can prevent it. And it can happen anytime. So just be meditative. Even if it happens, if you die meditatingly. This is what Osho used to tell his disciples. Don't be worried. They're asking a question about the Third World War. He said, if it is going to happen, it can happen anytime, because there are so many stupid and mad leaders over there. At any time, they can push the button and it happens. So you don't know, people of the world don't know. But I know there are many people who are waiting to push the button. They're just seeking an opportunity. They're saying, no, we are not going to enter, we're not going to interfere. But deep down, they are waiting for an opportunity to push the button. Believe me, people are so crazy. Well, I told you the First World War came, the Second World War came, COVID came, and so many diseases came. This will continue. This is life. Nobody can prevent it. Don't make this a pretext. Don't ask unnecessary question. You continue with the meditation, become more alert, become more meditative, become more loving, become more prayerful. Because whatever happens in this world happens for the best. It happens for the best. So keep going, keep celebrating, dance your way to God. So we continue our adventure with Gautam Buddha, with the great Buddha, whoever follows impure thoughts suffers in this world and the next. In both worlds, he suffers, and how greatly when he sees the wrong he has done. Have we done this? No? Remember? Have we discussed on this sutra? No? It's okay. Good then. Whoever follows impure thoughts suffers in this world and the next. Now, what are impure thoughts? Impure thoughts are thoughts that emanates from your unconsciousness. Impure thoughts are thoughts that comes out from your subconscious mind. Your unconscious mind, if I have to compare it, is like rotten things, like rotten dead people, rotten animal, anything, rotten food, things that are rotten. And where things rot, they emanate foul smell. Not only they emanate foul smell, they also become breeding ground for larvae, mosquitoes, microbes, viruses, and so on. So whoever follows impure thoughts, you do not follow impure thoughts. You are unconscious, and impure thoughts automatically, naturally comes out of your mind. But when you become more conscious, when it is consciousness, which is the nature of your life, which is the nature of your mind. Now, consciousness has its own fragrance. I've experienced many times, especially when I was a seeker, when I was a meditator, when I was a disciple, and even after. You will find it strange, but I could feel the fragrance of consciousness, the fragrance of energy. And this is something beyond description, beyond understanding. You cannot compare it to anything in the world. You cannot even imagine anything that comparable, that resembles it. And you know, as you transform and become consciousness itself, then you emanate fragrance. Many times, disciple would say, you know, Guruji, as soon as you enter the room, we feel a great fragrance, you know. This is literally true, you know. This is literally true. So whoever follows impure thoughts suffer in this world the next. So what happens when you are unconscious? When your unconsciousness reacts with external world, with society, the ideas of society, then that decides, that modifies, or that mold your behavior, your character, your action, and so on and so forth. This is how society is born. And when you look around, what is society? It is a reflection of your unconsciousness. Society as it is, I should add, as it is now, as it is today, is a reflection of your unconsciousness. So as you become more conscious, that's why I insist on becoming more loving, more prayerful, dance, celebrate, smile. Then what happens is you contribute to a better society. You contribute to a better life. You make life more beautiful. Whosoever follows impure thoughts, you do not follow impure thoughts. You are carried by the thoughts or energy. It is the energy of your mind breaking away, flowing away. So what you can do? It is happening through you. You can become more conscious. That is the whole message of religion. That is the whole message of all masters. That is the true pilgrimage from unconsciousness to cosmic consciousness, to pure consciousness. If there's anything in which you have to invest, don't invest in business. Invest in becoming more aware. Invest in becoming more silent inside. When you become more aware and more silent inside, your life becomes prayerful. You become meditative. You become authentic. You become innocent. You know, when you think, when thinking comes from your mind, when your thinking process is at work, depending on the nature of your thoughts, and people mostly think about ugly things, how to steal, how to rape, how to lie, how to trick, how to play on words. You know, what happens? Your thinking leaves a trace in your mind. Whatever you think, whatever you do, whatever action you do, all your behaviors, attitudes, and moods are recorded in your mind, and that forms your unconscious mind. That forms your superficial being. So that's why masters will tell you, I have been always urging you to be very watchful towards your feelings, not only your emotions, your moods, your attitudes. Your attitudes, your moods, your feelings, your actions. Because each time you think, it leaves a trace. It is registered in your consciousness, and that becomes your mind. And what happens? You suffer in this world, in the next, because it is your thoughts that becomes your habit. It is your thoughts that becomes your action. Habits become action. Habit, thoughts motivates your behavior, dictates your behavior, and you create karma. You create evil action. You do evil action because your thoughts are impure and evil. You create all the sufferings that you go through mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, and economically. These are a consequence. These are consequences of your impure thoughts, of your greed, of your anger, of your lust, of your hatred, of your jealousy, of your attachment, and you just name it. So Buddha, and Buddha represents any master for that matter, he cautions you. He's not giving a commandment. He cautions you. He says, whosoever follow impure thoughts. He's not saying, do not have impure thoughts. See, whosoever, you have to understand, suffer in this world or the next. What is it? The next world. The next world, when you are born again, when you pass through a subtle world after your death, when you leave your physical body, even in your astral body, you suffer because you carry this. That's why when people commit suicide, many people feel when they commit suicide that they are free from sufferings. They are free from their responsibilities. The very idea of committing suicide is an impure thought. It brings you down. It makes you escape from your responsibility as a human being. You are not mature. Only immature people take such a decision. So what happens? Your astral body, your mental body registers, keep traces of those impure thoughts. And then what? After suicide, you realize that you are not dead. You are not completely destroyed. You are still there. And people at such a level of consciousness, suffers a lot. Because in the astral body, and more so regarding people at such level of evolutions, they suffer a lot. It's as if they are still living in a physical body. They have hunger, they have thirst, they have fear, they have desire, and so on. You know, they are unconscious. There are people who are like as if they are drunk. There are people who are like the rudderless boat. They don't know what to do. They go here and there. They suffer a lot. This I can tell you from experience. I've seen many of these people, people after suicide. I've seen many of these disincarnate spirit. They suffer a lot. This is a great delusion. You think that after suicide, you finish with this body, and then it's okay. I'll be free. You're not free at all. You are still not free at all. You're still under bondage. So if you know anybody who wants to commit suicide, then you can pass on the message or ask them to watch this video. So if you really want to commit suicide, the only suicide, it's not in fact suicide, is that the death of the ego. You dissolve the false identity, what you call I. You dissolve the mind, and from that, a new you is born. Your true self is born. Godliness is born. And then no more impure thoughts. So become more and more conscious. Because so long you identify with the body, so long you identify with your mind, then trouble starts. You start emanating foul thoughts, impure thoughts. So do not struggle with your impure thoughts. You can't. It will be like putting the ox in front and the cart behind. Do not struggle at all. Just sharpen your consciousness. Just be more alert. Don't get identified. Even if impure thoughts come to you, don't get identified at all. Just get disidentified. That is the first step towards samadhi, towards deep meditation. In both worlds, he suffers, and how greatly when he sees the wrong he has done. This is what is called regret. You know, after death, I'll share something with you. By the end of your life, it happens to many people, perhaps to most people. Why I say most? Because many people do not have the opportunity even to be conscious. They just die and then exit from this world. But some people, before they die, deep down, they know they haven't done anything good. Especially those who live a life of debauchery and vainglory. And you realize after death that your body dies and you are still there, and that you will be born again. You know, after death, you are given a certain amount of education about your life. Of course, it will not be much, but the guides, you know, we have guides after death, will help you to understand this is your body, you have died now, you have to go, you are going to accompany to the next stage, to purgatory. Briefly, they will brief you, but then of course, you lose contact with everything and you pass beyond, and then you are born again. And then what happened? You do the same stupid things again. Same eating, same drinking, same greed, same lust, same hatred, same jealousy. So that's why when I see you doing things, I see again children, again getting married, again anger, again mosquito, again the same pretext, the same excuses. I have to say this, but be free to live your life as you wish. But my prayer is that you make wise use of your freedom, and see how wrong he has done. It's too late. It's too late. But whosoever follows the law is joyful here and joyful there. What is the meaning of to follow the law? It's not follow commandments like in the Bible, like other religion. It means to be yourself, to be an individual, to be unconditioned. Be yourself as when you were born. Childlike, not childish. Be an individual. Get disidentified with all culture and all religion. I don't say be against religion. I do not say be against culture. Cultures are beautiful. Religions in their pristine state, in their beautiful state, has great value and importance. But you don't get identified with anything. First, realize that you are a human being. You start from there. That will be the first step towards freedom. The first step towards freedom, according to me, is to get disidentified, to become an individual. To become an individual. But who also follows the law? That is the first law. You are an individual, you are part of existence. Become an existentialist. Not like Sartre. No, not at all. Sartre's existentialism was very poor. It was just like a person who is sleeping and dreaming, and he thinks that whatever he is dreaming is his whole world. No. From there, you have to move. You have to move from being a human, from being human to the divine. You have to set on the journey towards the core of your being. to soul consciousness. That is extremely important. Many people stop meditating, but they still identify. When I was used to go to Canada, in Quebec, the people there were very pedantic, they were very much attached to their language, the French language. I remember having used one word few times. I used a word in different language because it's difficult, easier to express. So I used the word plugin. Wow. Later there was an issue. The lady kept that word. He was very pedantic, very attached to his French language. So, he started blurting out. He was saying in French, c'est chien de plugin, c'est chien. What does it mean? This dog of plugin and whatever. Wow. Now, language is from mind. Language means mind. It is mind. Language is sound, image, and words. So if you're too attached to your language, if you're attached to culture, if you're attached to religion, means you're caught in the spiral of mind, of ego. So that's why the first step towards liberation is to get disidentified from culture, from religion, from language. But I have to repeat it here. When I say get disidentified, I don't say reject. Use language, use religion, use culture, celebrate them, enjoy them, make very good use of them, but don't get identified. First, understand and know that you are a human being, above all. And then from there, we can start seeking whether there is something beyond physical body, whether there is something beyond being a physical body, whether there is something beyond thinking, beyond emotion. And yes, I am a witness, there exists. And that is consciousness. That is divinity. That is cosmic consciousness. That is love, eternal love, transcendental love. And that's it. So whosoever follows the law is joyful here and there. When you live according to the law, when you live naturally, when you live as an authentic human being without being a hypocrite, without wearing mask, then you live according to existence. Then only you become part and parcel of existence. And existence is orgasmic. Existence is orgasmic. Whatever exists was made from that very step called bliss. So it is impossible not to be blissful when you are natural, when you become part and parcel of existence, when you become an existentialist in my sense of the word. So that's it. Joyful here and there. Then you carry your joy even in the next incarnation, you carry your world even beyond physical body. And your joy increases manifold. In both worlds, he rejoices, and how greatly when he sees what he has done. When you live according to the laws of nature, when you live righteously, when you do things in the right way, when you do things according to consciousness, then you feel happy. Why many people suffers, why many people have heavy conscience. I'm using the term conscience. Why people feel guilty? Because they know deep down they are doing wrong things. They are doing ugly things. Then they regret, then they repent. Just like the person who drinks in the morning and in the evening when he is sober, he take oath that he's not going to drink again because he had done ugly things. He had hangovers. He said a lot of wrong things, ugly things. He did a lot of evil things. So that's it. Invest in becoming more and more aware and watch your thoughts, not only your thoughts, your moods, your attitudes, your action. And that's it.